listeners. This is Sarah from the Kahani Suno podcast. कैसे हैं आप लोग आज? Once again, I'm excited to bring you my latest story, Best Friends Forever. This is a very special story for me because I wrote it maybe 13, 14 years ago. So I just wanted to see how you receive this story. This is written in a very different format from the point of view of a woman who is drifting in and out of consciousness. She's been in a bad accident and she's in the hospital. And so all her memories, the present things that she hears, everything is jumbled. So I've tried to capture that in this story. It makes it a little confusing to follow, but I think it comes well in the end. And the main thing here is how the human mind functions when it is drifting in and out of consciousness. It's under pressure, stress, and maybe I don't know how it feels, but this is how I think it would happen. So I would be very interested to know your comments on what worked for you, what didn't work. I had tried to make it more ordered so that it would be easier to follow, but I thought that it took away from the story. So I decided to keep it in the original format. So let's see and listen to this story. Best Friends Forever, narrated by Sarah from kahanisuno.com. Anna, I never meant for this to happen, she said, squeezing my hand very, very softly. I smiled back weakly at her and managed with quite a bit of difficulty to hoarsely whisper with every ounce of the last vestiges of strength I had. I know, Jules, before giving in to the relief of sleep overtaking the conscious mind. I don't know how many times I slipped in and out of consciousness, but every time I opened my eyes, I would find Julia hovering around in the room. Sometimes she'd be pacing around, sometimes she'd be talking to me, sometimes she'd be just standing in the corner, her face looking pale, and sometimes she would be just holding my hand. But every single time she was there, right there with me. Not that I expected anything less from her. She had been my best friend for as far as I could remember. Some people would go even as far as to say that we were like sisters, but I wouldn't say that. In fact, I would take exception to such a thoughtless remark. I believe a relationship of your own choosing, where you are holding hands throughout the vagaries of life, as it takes its innumerable twists and turns without any of the baggage that comes from being part of the same family, is, in my humble opinion, on a much higher and easier ground than the one you have to adhere to because you belong to the same gene pool. I saw her watching me intently as the doctor goaded me to wake up. All I wanted was to turn to the other side and continue sleeping. Please, I could sense the desperation in the slight quiver of her voice, like I always did. I knew her so well that a slight increase in the pitch of her voice, the tiniest of change in the way she greeted me, would allow me to make a fairly accurate guess about the reason what was happening to her. Please, I heard her pleading again and again. I really wanted to open my eyes, say something to assuage her fears, but all I could manage was an almost inaudible grunt. Darkness once again enveloped me, and I did not hear much of the real world after that. I fell into a trance-like dream where the events of the past few days and those that happened years ago got interspersed to deliver a jumbled snapshot of my memories that could be attributed either to me losing my mind or some kind of powerful drug that was being administered to me. I rooted for the latter. The first time I saw Julia, I remember being painfully shy. She was this enigmatic girl who was the scion of a very rich family. She wore the most beautiful clothes and had the most dazzling smile. Both boys and girls lined up after her to be her friend. I was one of them too. Are you upset with me? Shouldn't I be? I guess. I have every right to. I agree. Oh, please. I'm sorry. Sometimes a sorry is just not enough. Okay, then what is? Maybe a dinner? You got it then. Let's go to a place of your choice. Oh, come on now. Cut the drama. On one hand, you're apologizing to me. On the other, you're being all bossy again. I am not bossy. You are. I'm not. R2, I'm not. Phone call for you, my mother yelled from the kitchen. I raced downstairs. I had been waiting for this call forever. Hello? Yeah, sure, that would be great. Thanks for inviting me. Bye. Oh my god, I couldn't wait for Friday. Mom, we need to pick up a birthday gift for my BFF, I declared. BFF? Oh, come on, Mom. You don't know what a BFF is? Best friends forever. Well, now I do, but pray who this BFF of yours is. It's Julia, Mom, I blurted out, barely able to contain my excitement. Congratulations. I know you wanted her to be your BFF for a long time. Well, technically she isn't for now, but that is going to change very soon and you're going to help me with that. Oh boy, what fun. My mom. She passed away too quick, too fast. One moment she was heading out of the door after her customary 1-month visit to my dorm, and the next minute she was hit by a van as she tried to get into the car, and she died on the spot. I was waving her goodbye, and before I could say, "See you soon, Mom," she had vanished from my life completely. It took me years to come to terms with her death. I held myself completely and solely responsible for her death, though I knew that it was the reckless driver who had mowed her down. I vowed to hunt him down and for the next few years devoted my whole life to becoming a criminal lawyer, which involved changing my major. Yes, it took me a few more years to graduate, but armed with my degree and my natural fire that had been raging for all these years, I tracked him down and had him convicted. I became an instant celebrity. My career took off big time. All I wanted was the image of terror on my mom's face as the van approached her, wiped away from my existence. It didn't. The car was going too fast, uncontrollably fast. Slow down, Jules. If I slow down, he will kill us, Anna. And if you don't, you will kill us. He won't do anything of that sort. He doesn't have the balls to. Please stop. He had a gun in his hand, Anna. No, he did not. I was there too. He hid it when you walked it. Did he? Are you sure? Yes, I am sure. Yeah. We have to call 911. 911? What's your emergency? Don't look back, Julia. Watch out. Too quick. Too fast again as the car rolled over and burst into flames. I could still feel the flames around me, my hair, my beautiful hair, the long strands that had a mind of their own and always refused to be put to order. I could feel them sticking to me. I thrashed my head from side to side. I could not bear their stickiness. Please, please get them out of my face. I felt her cool hands over my forehead, pushing away the rogue strands, and then rubbing an ice-cold sponge over it. Ah, that felt so good. Like always, not only did she know exactly what I wanted, but also did what I wanted. I looked up to see her lost in deep thought. You've got to be kidding me. Nope, I said smugly. Seriously? In all seriousness. I don't believe that you could even be capable of doing this. Well, it's not like I committed a crime or something. I knew you had a crush on Rana from like the Stone Ages. I know he likes you too. I just had to put a few pieces in place. I don't know what to say. This is just too incredibly unbelievable. So don't say anything and get ready for the date. He's going to be here in a few hours. We have to make sure you dazzle him out of his mind and a few other things. I winked. She laughed her tingling smile of hers, a smile that always touched me with its complete abandon. I wish I could smile like that, so easily and so from the heart. Maybe one needed a childlike innocence to be able to laugh from the heart and smile with such unbridled gaiety. I know she possessed that innocence. Though she was extremely intelligent and extremely bright, there were times I could not believe that she was as pure of a soul as she seemed to be. I would get irritated sometimes at her over this, saying that I could not understand how a grown-up, mature woman like herself could behave as if she was just born. I even accused her of acting and lying to trick the world. I still remember the look of disbelief on her face as she tried to make sense of what I had just said. I instantly regretted it, but the small tear in the corner of her eye made me feel like the lowest person that ever existed on the earth. I felt so ashamed that I could not even bring myself to apologize to her. Some scars can never be healed, especially the ones made by someone who you think knows you inside and out. So I concluded that it would be a waste of time trying to do that, and I was bad at apologies anyways. We just went on with our lives as if that moment had never happened. But every time she made a thoughtless remark, or whenever her naivete shone through, I could not ever roll my eyes, mocking her like I used to, nor could she laugh at herself like before. The unspoken word is so much harder to wipe away than the spoken word sometimes. Sorry, he did say he was sorry, she said with downcast eyes. What do you mean he said sorry? After beating you black and blue, he says sorry and you are ready to forgive him? I shouted at her, my indignation getting the better of me. Well, he did not beat me up exactly. Oh, really? So what did he do that makes you look like you are acting in one of those horror movies? It was just a small push, you know. You called it a small push? I screamed at her, reducing her to copious tears. You're going to regret this big time one day. I wish you would get out of it before it kills you and kills me in the bargain. She continued crying and continued seeing him. When a woman refuses to grow up, she not only lands herself in a sea of trouble, but also all the people who care for her are dragged underwater with her. The tears came only when I saw her. Ironically, she was the first person I called, not even my dad. She was an exchange student in Italy and it took her 2 days to get back to me. But she did. I was in a trance, but subconsciously I was waiting for her. For people like me, crying does not come easy. I clam up and just wait the period out, 1 second at a time. But as soon as I saw her, my ironclad reserve melted. The realization struck me that this was the only person in the world who cared about me like my mom used to. My tears gratefully gushed out. The constriction that had been choking the life out of me in my throat for the last couple of days loosened, and I just cried and cried and cried as she held me without a word. Tell me everything. Not now, Anna. Can we talk about this tomorrow? She groaned. I have been patiently waiting for you to get back home from your date to listen to all the juicy details, and you say you want to talk tomorrow? Yes, I do. All right then, I'm not setting up any more dates for you, no matter how much you're in love with the guy. Maybe you wouldn't need to. Wow, what do you mean? Oh, Anna, he asked me to marry him. I held my breath. And you wanted to tell me this tomorrow? Well, yes. I assume you said yes. Yes, I did. Good for you. Congratulations, I said icily. Please don't be so cold about it. You know I owe all of this happiness to you. But I'm so tired, just so tired. I felt tired, so tired. The heat from the flames seemed to have subsided. I felt like I had just been dragged through hell and back. I tried to open my eyes to see where I was. I could not. I just heard voices. I wanted to get up and walk out of this. I felt like I was suffocating, but I could not move a muscle. Go to sleep, dearest Anna, Julia said and started to sing. She had such a wonderful voice. She knew I would like that. Happy birthday, Julia, I said, handing over what I thought was the most perfect gift for her, trying to obliterate the image of my mom glaring at me for dragging her all over town trying to locate the perfect gift. Oh, thank you, Anna. This is the best gift I have ever received, she said, snatching it out of my arms, squealing in delight. I gave my mom a told you so look and felt on top of the world. Where do you find it? She asked. It was my mom's turn to roll her eyes at me. I would have loved to capture that moment and live it over and over again. My childlike enthusiasm at not only being invited to a gala birthday party of the most coveted girl at school, but also impressing her with what I chose for her was quite a euphoric feeling. My mom kept looking on indulgently at me as I enjoyed myself thoroughly, forming a bond that would last me a lifetime. I silently thanked her for not giving up on my obstinacy in finding what I thought would be a perfect gift for Julia as I dragged her day after day into store after store. Thanks, Mom. Ouch, that hurt. My lips felt like they were coming apart. I could not see, I could not speak. I wondered what was wrong with me. I tried to think back to the events which resulted in my ending up in what seemed like an ICU of an A-grade hospital. What had happened? Where was I? My mind was wandering. I tried to get it to behave, trying to get it to concentrate on what could be a few hours before now. Not more than that, I hope. But I couldn't be sure, could I? Pain seared through my head. I tried to scream, but only could hear a moan. Shh, don't try to talk. You're going to hurt yourself more, she whispered close to my ear. Julia, you have to get out of this. You don't understand. I can't. I love him. He loves me very much. There she goes again, pulling her I am whiter than snow stunt on me, refusing to grow up and take responsibility for her actions. What I don't understand is how you could put up with this shit with this man. Please don't say anything to him. He's not a bad person. No, no, not at all. He's just someone who abuses his fiancée in the name of love. He's all good. He's not the problem. I agree he's not the problem, but you are, Jules. Don't you see where this is leading you? Please, please, please get out of it with whatever dignity you could muster. I beg you, Jules, get out of it. It's not so easy, Anna. Jules, life is as easy as we make it to be. Then why do you insist on making it difficult for yourself? What do you mean? You know what I mean, carrying the guilt of your mom's death in your heart, never forgiving your dad, and running away from men because your parents' marriage did not work. Why don't you stop doing that and make life easier for you? I looked at her incredulously. She had changed so much in the past few months. I could never imagine her saying something so hurtful to me. I took a deep breath to let the anger subside. Julia, it's not about me. If doing any of those things could bring back something, I would be doing all of them in a heartbeat. But what would I get in return? Would my mom come back to me? Would all those years without my dad be returned to me? Would falling in love with a man confirm that my life is going to be happy? But I guarantee you, if you leave Rana, you can get your life back, at least what is left of it. There, I had managed to deliver what I wanted to without blowing up. I can't, Anna, please understand. Then maybe we can't be friends anymore until you leave him. Crap, I had blown up. I can't believe you're saying this, Anna. And I can't believe that you're doing this either, that you're planning on marrying the man who has reduced you to this. He loves me, Anna. I groaned. I'm a grown woman, Anna. I know what's good for me, she said slowly with a steely resolve that I had no idea existed within her. Well, you sure don't act like it. Can't you just let it go? Give us a chance, maybe? I can't. You know why? Because I love you and I can't stand around looking while he hurts and destroys you. And that, my dear girlfriend, is the definition of true love. He is not doing that. Right, you're allowing yourself to be destroyed. Please, Jules, don't. Please, Anna, don't ask me to do something that would make me miserable the rest of my life. I cannot stand on the sidelines, Jules, watching him trample all over you. Then don't, she said. We did not see each other nor speak to each other for days after that. I held myself responsible for the situation she found herself in. After all, I was the one who had taken the lead in setting the both of them up. Like her, I had thought Rana to be a decent, good-looking man who seemed to care a lot for her. Instead, as days passed, I uncovered the real cad in him. A misogynist who could feel complete in abusing his woman and felt pleasure in doing so to the woman who had the misfortune of falling for his misplaced charm and the I am vulnerable than an infant look in his eyes. I had always prided myself on being too smart, who could weed out the good pennies from the bad within minutes of meeting them, but I had erred where it mattered the most, with the life of my best friend. You know it's okay to cry, don't you? She said softly. I hated it when she would talk to me like that, hesitantly, as if I scared her and she wasn't very sure about how I'd react. I had always hoped that the man in her life would be mature enough to handle this innate sensitivity in her with care. She could get so easily into trouble. I would have to watch out for her. Anna? Yes, I heard you. I know that. But what do you want me to cry for? Anna, it doesn't mean anything to me. He doesn't mean anything to me. So why should I be shedding any precious tears for him? It's not like he's been any different. So why would I expect him to be different because my mom just died in an accident in front of my eyes? I'm sure he's busy cavorting with one of his secretaries or trying out another bizarre idea of his to make millions to even think about me. That his daughter could at least use one phone call from him, or at least a minute with a simple "how are you doing" question. No, I don't expect that from him, nor will I call him. I did. What? She shrunk back. My dad and I have always had a tempestuous relationship. I never forgave him for leaving my mother, though I never quite knew the reason why they had decided to separate. I was too young to understand, and from what little I could at that age, all seemed normal to me. That made it even more difficult for me to cope. I had no inkling this was coming. Everything was hunky-dory one day, with my parents attending my orchestra recital, hand in hand, clapping for me, cheering me on. And then the next day, he was gone, without as much as a goodbye, never to return to live with us again. My, it is huge, isn't it? So when is the big date? Well, we don't know yet. There are so many things we have to sort out before we set a date. For now, I'm going to be moving in with him. Oh, are you? Are you sure? Positive. There's nothing I want more. We're going to live together for a few months and hopefully agree to a date considering both of our busy schedules. But hopefully that's going to change. What is going to change? My busy schedule. Are you taking some time off? No, Anna. Rana wants me to stop working and concentrate on our upcoming wedding and our marriage after that. You see, he wants me all to himself. Rana wants you to stop? This was not good. And what about you? What do you want? I want what he wants, Anna. I want to make him the happiest man in the world. I can do anything for him. You sound like a love-struck teenager to me, she giggled. I think you're spoiling him, Julia. You should not just blindly do things because he wants you to. You have to determine if what he wants from you is what you want from yourself. I do, and thanks, Anna. You know, I owe all this happiness to you. If it hadn't been for you, I might have never met the most amazing man in the world. The warning bells in my head started to ring. I winced at the memory. Julia, Jules. I tried to call out for her. I'm here, Anna. Please don't try to move or speak. I could hear her muffled sobs and saw her crying. Yep, she was fine. Normal. Anna dear, I stopped dead in my tracks. I could not believe she would have gone as far as actually calling my dad. I'm not sure what all she said to him, but knowing her penchant for highly emotional dramas, I was sure it was something I would quite detest. Honey, I'm so sorry I did not come earlier. I was in a very remote area and I had to fly a long way. I set off as soon as I heard. I was seething with anger. I turned slowly to face them. They were both looking at me with a lot of trepidation, but I could easily discern one emotion emanating from the both of them. Concern for me. I was in a very vulnerable situation and my heart melted at the thought that I was once again surrounded by the people who cared about me. I gave in to the tears, hugging him tight. I wondered if Dad was around somewhere. He should have known by now. Surely Julia must have called him at first chance. Dad, I called out feebly. There was no response. He's on his way here, Anna. He should be here in a few hours, she said gently. What is that? What? My eyes widened. It could not be what it looked like, would it? From the way she tried to turn away from me, I knew my worst fears had come true. Did he hit you? What are you talking about? That big blue bruise on your face is what I'm talking about. Oh, this. I tripped and fell. You tripped and fell and bruised your face? She kept quiet. I don't think she had ever lied to me before. Everything has a start, which is difficult and shocking in the beginning, but as time passes, it becomes easier and the shocking effects subside. She started lying much more easily about everything related to Rana and her, and even though I knew she was lying, I decided that I would not force the realization on her, but rather wait for it to happen. Julia seems nice. Oh, thank you, Mom. I think so too. I'm glad you like her. It's a bit surprising though. What? That you girls are such good friends. You seem so different from each other. She was right. I could not quite place either how we clicked with each other in spite of being complete opposites in our approach and outlook towards life. My answer to her was nothing more than a cliched opposites attract, Mom, with a silly wide grin on my face. Slow down, Jules. He's coming for me, Anna. He's going to kill me. He can't lay a finger on you, Julia. Please slow down. Let us call 911 and the police will be here. I can't see him following us for that matter. Please slow down. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Please slow down. I can't, Anna. I'm so scared. I could hear her calling out to me. I ignored her. I had specifically asked her to leave me alone, and here she was doing the opposite. Anna, open the door. I have someone come down and break it down. For all her vulnerabilities, she could be quite persistent, the pesky little thing. Anna, her voice grew louder. I dragged myself out of bed and headed towards the front door. I had to turn away as she pushed the door in, trying to protect my eyes from the bright sunlight that streamed in. I don't believe this. What are you doing to yourself? I'm just trying to sleep. For the past 2 days? Well, I'm tired. Anna, please. You're not responsible for what happened. Please stop trying to convince yourself of otherwise and feeling bad for yourself. Your moping around is not going to help anyone. I'm going to make you some coffee, and in the meantime, I need you to get into the bathroom and try to straighten yourself so that I don't feel like I have come to see the Grinch." I smiled. "Yes, ma'am." I threw her a mock salute. Things were going to be okay when Jules was around. She was going to take care of me. I don't know what hurt more, the fact that she was allowing him to hurt her, or the fact that she had been hiding things from me for so long for the first time in her life. I felt betrayed, but more than anything else, I felt furious. How could the bastard do this to her? I walked out while she was still turned away from me. "Wait, Anna, please wait." "Anna, Anna," she was calling out to me. I woke up with a start. My neck hurt when I tried to move it. I could feel her gentle hand steadying me. Exhausted by the pain, I stopped trying. As with so many instances of my life, I was quite grateful that Julia was around. I looked towards her and caught her smiling back at me. I tried to do the same, but it hurt too much and I winced. She laughed. Yes, things were going to be just fine. Julia was right there looking after me, as usual. "I'm going to wait outside for not more than 10 minutes. Do whatever you have to do and come back. Otherwise, I'm coming in," I told her quietly. "Don't worry, I will be back. I think I owe it to him after so many years to let him know that I'm leaving him." "You don't owe a thing to him, Julia, and I don't know why you insist on creating a highly emotional scene when none is required. Please, you said you would support me if I let you accompany me. I already regret saying that. I should have never let you come here." I don't think she heard me, as she had already climbed out of the driver's seat, walking towards what a few hours ago she used to call her home. It took me years to recover from my mother's accidental death. After blaming myself for a couple of years while doing everything possible short of committing suicide to harm myself, I agreed to go into rehab at Julia's persistence, and with my dad promising to look after my practice while I was gone, I was once again riding on the shoulders of the people who cared about me and not at all thrilled about the idea. I was in and out of the rehab for a while before being let off in a year with the assurance that I was completely cured and there was no danger of me being a nuisance to myself or to the people around me. I never believed that, however. Julia was there as usual to greet me and drive me back home. "Sometimes love is not enough," my mom said wistfully. "Then why, Mom?" "Anna, you've got to understand that sometimes it's very difficult for two people to live together. I never saw you fight with him, so why is he leaving us now?" "Because I asked him to," she said simply. "Mom, why would you do that? Please, please ask him to stay." "I'm sorry, honey, I can't do that." "Why not? You say you love him. You say he loves us. Then why did you ask him to leave, Mom?" "He's not happy with me, Anna." How could he not be, Mom? You're such a wonderful woman." "His definition of a wonderful woman is quite different from yours, Anna." "But you're the same woman, Ma." "Yes, but I'm his wife while I'm your mother. Just because you think I'm a good mother doesn't necessarily mean he thinks I'm a good wife." "I hate him, Mom." "Anna, don't say that. He's your dad." "No, he's not. I will never forgive him for this." "You never know, Anna. You never know. I know I'm not ever going to let him in my life ever again." "Anna," I heard my dad calling out to me. So he was here finally. I wanted to tell him I could hear him. I could not move a muscle. I felt him squeezing my hand. That felt good. Gave her another 5 minutes before heading inside. I thought I was prepared for everything. But when I saw what was going on, I could not believe how I could have been so totally wrong in judging Rana. Julia lay sprawled on the ground as he stood looming over her. I could only hear him say over and over again, "You cannot leave me. I will not allow you to do that." He was about to raise his hand when I shouted at him, "One finger on her and I'm going to make sure you rot in hell, you bastard," towards me. One telltale sign of cowards is no matter how brave they can be around timid people, the minute they encounter someone who's not afraid of their made-up persona, they just balk. He was the same. He slunk away from her as I moved forward. I saw her whispering something in her ear. She stood up uncertainly as I gathered her in my arms, leading her out. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Now's not the time, Julia. We will address this later." She did not say anything after that. "Are you sure you can drive?" I asked her. "Yes," she mumbled as she climbed inside her car. "My parents are divorced." "Oh, is that why your dad is not around?" Yes, he moved far, far away. Mom says it's because he needed a fresh start. I believe it is because he wanted to get away as far as possible from me, from us. Maybe you should just have faith in your mom, Anna. Maybe not. Do you miss him? No. I could hear voices again. This time they were not so jumbled. I could actually listen without making too much of an effort. I think my dad was talking to the doctor. I wondered where Julia was. It had been a while since I heard or felt her around. I heard footsteps and the voices faded away. I must be alone. I did not like that feeling. I did not want to be alone. I hated being alone. I hated my dad for leaving us alone. I hated my mom for dying and leaving me alone. And I hated Julia for allowing a jerk of a man come between us. I thought you said you were never going to leave him. I was wrong. I'm glad you realized that. Me too. So what happened for you to look at the light? After the last argument we had, it seemed like you were ready to take even more shit from him. She did not say anything. Well, I persisted. He asked me to stop seeing you, she said with eyes downcast. I was grateful she was not looking at me. I was completely thrown aback. I'm going to have to tell him. I will be back. I'm not going to let you go alone, I said, following her, steadying myself. So, rehab did the trick for you? Well, yeah, as far as the substance abuse goes, I guess. So, you still feel the same about what happened? I don't think I can feel anything different ever. Why do you blame yourself, Anna? I don't, but I can't stop thinking how different things would be had I walked with her to the car. Maybe I could have opened the door for her. You could have gotten killed too, you know. I think I would take that compared to this, Julia. I'm not sure if what I said that day to her still stands. Yes, I would have given anything to have held my mother back for long enough to have let the speeding van speed by instead of ramming into her. But would I have wanted to taken her place on that fateful day? I don't know. I feel happy to be in the place where I am in now. A very successful career where I can channel my pent-up anger, guilt and rage to track down criminals rather than becoming one myself. Something that I had wanted to do all my life, an aversion towards men and anything related to them that keeps me out of many a trouble. And then I have Julia to come back to. I was living in the best of both worlds. I wouldn't think my mother would have quite approved of my professional lifestyle where work ruled over everything else. In the same vein of all the mothers of the world, my mother also wanted for me what was important to her and what she failed to achieve for herself. A good marriage with a bunch of brats running around ruining my life. I did what a majority of daughters in the world do, run in the opposite direction. It's just that she died in between and I could never stop feeling guilty over how everyone she had held precious in her life had disappointed her, especially the one she had lavished all her love and attention on. I missed her so much, and I would have to say what I said to Julia that day still stands. What did he say to you? Uh-huh. When I was coming towards you, he whispered something into your ear. What did the lowlife have to say? He said he was coming for me and that he would what? Kill you and then kill me. I laughed hard as she looked on completely startled. How can you laugh at a time like this? I find it entertaining that a coward like him would have the gall to say something like that. Very amusing indeed. If not for anything, I could get him into jail for just this. No, Anna, please don't say that. I looked at her. Is this what love reduces you to? I shook my head, glad that it had not happened to me. And there weren't many chances that it would ever, considering the sort of people I spent my life and time with. I felt sore all over. How long had it been? I saw Julia moving about. I wanted to ask her so many questions. What had happened? Where was I? What's going on? Am I all right? Is she okay? My head hurt. I could feel her coming near and peering into my face. Anna, come back. I miss you so. She straightened up as I heard the door open. I tried to get out, but I couldn't. I could feel the smoke around me. I couldn't see anything, and it was so unbearably hot. I tried to call out for Julia, but I could not stop coughing. My foot seemed to be stuck somewhere, and when I tried to jerk it out, the pain was so acute I think I passed out. I don't remember anything much after that. Anna, I heard Julia calling out to me for attention. You told me to keep away from him. I should have listened to you. She was talking to me. I strained my ears to listen. Well, not at first, I wanted to say. I was the one who got you introduced to him. I know you feel responsible for me getting together with Rana, but Anna, don't you realize that it would have happened with or without your intervention? I don't want you to hold it against yourself for yet another lifelong guilt trip. I winced. That was already a done deal. Guilt trip number 2. You have been always so good to me. You have tried to show me the practical side of living life. I always shied away from the truth. You always held up the mirror to me. Rana is not a bad person, believe me. Please don't go after him. I wish I could roll my eyes. She still cares about him. I guess some people can never quite change, no matter what they are put through. I know you must be feeling mad at me for saying so, but that's who I am, Anna, and I know you have accepted me with all my failings. My anger softened, but I could not quite understand the timing of her monologue. Surely we could talk about this when I could contribute my 2 cents to the conversation. The doctor just told your dad that you're going to be fine and there is no permanent damage to your legs. Anna, I can't tell you how long I have been waiting to hear that. I wouldn't have been able to take it had it been anything else. I did this to you, Anna. After everything that you did for me, this is the destruction I brought upon you. Silly girl, emotional as ever. I'm so sorry. I have to go now, Anna. I hope you take care of yourself and stop feeling guilty about your mom. I'm so happy to see your dad here and hopefully you move in with him like he has always wanted and finally have a family like you have always wanted. Good luck, Anna. Bye. And yes, best friends forever, girlfriend. You bet, girlfriend, I blurted out and words came out crystal clear. The nurse came in rushing and then there was a flurry of activity as the doctors started coming in one by one. My dad was there too, talking excitedly. I guess they had been waiting for me to say something. Open your eyes, Anna, the doctor said firmly. What a monumental effort that turned out to be. I could just get them to open a little. The doctor persisted, and after what seemed like eternity, I could finally see around me. There was Dad looking on anxiously at me. You doing all right, Angel? He asked. Yes, Dad, I answered feebly. Where was Julia? I scanned the room again, trying to locate her. The effort proved too much, and I had to close my eyes again. Where's Julia? I asked. She's around, honey. Don't worry. I won't stop worrying until I see that bastard in jail for what he put Julia through. I need you to help me book a criminal case against him, Dad, holding him responsible for the accident. We can think about that later, Anna. No, Dad, I can't rest until I know that he's out of her life completely. Please do this for me. All right. I'm going to call my secretary and ask her to prepare the paperwork. Could you please pick it up from my office and bring them here? Sure, dear. After all, you're the expert. You would know better. Yes, I did, and I was already feeling better. The next day, I was feeling strong enough to sit down and drink some soup. A nurse helped me with it. I was indignant that Jules wasn't here. Where was she? Didn't she know I needed her doing all this for me? There was something definitely not quite right. Are you all right? The nurse asked me. Maybe I could ask her. Do you know where Julia is? Julia who? My friend Julia, the one who's been with me the whole time. I haven't seen anyone other than the medical staff around you except your dad. When did you start tending to me? The day you joined. When was that? Just over a couple of weeks ago. And you never saw Julia? No. That can't be. Okay, we are all done here. You should get some rest. When Dad came in that evening to see me, I pounced on him immediately. Where is Julia? She's around, Anna, he said simply. Well, I don't see her. Do you? Where is she? Did she go back to that loser? Tell me the truth. Did she decide to leave me fighting for my life while she took beatings from him after all he did? Anna, please relax. Where is she, Dad? She's gone, Anna. Gone? Gone where? She died in the accident, he said slowly. Who died in the accident? Julia did, honey. She didn't make it. He got to be kidding me. What are you talking about? She was here till about yesterday. She was talking with me, taking care of me. I saw her with my own eyes. We wanted to wait for a while before telling you. We knew it would devastate you. So who was talking to me, setting my hair straight, cooling me down? There has to be some mistake somewhere. I don't believe you, Dad. I think you're lying to me, doing all this so I agree to move to your place. Well, I won't. I know what it is like to have one of the most important persons in your life get up and just leave. I'm sorry, Anna. I was young. I did not know better. I know better, and I'm appalled that you could be the same old manipulative, selfish son of a bitch that you always were. There, I had said it. Something I had wanted to say to him since that night when he calmly walked out of our lives to pursue one of his own. The doctor walked in. Anna, I need to talk to you. If you're going to lie to me, I don't want to hear you say anything. Why would I lie to you? I don't know. Maybe my dad manipulated you so that I would agree to go with him. Even if he did, don't you see it's out of his love for you? No, I don't see it. Well, it is. Where's Julia? What your dad told you is the truth, Anna. She was pronounced dead at the site. I stared at him for what seemed like a long time before finding my voice. Then who was it that was talking to me yesterday? Who was it that I saw almost every hour of every day in my room? You must have imagined it, Anna, he said coolly. I don't have that good of an imagination. Well, then you must have been hallucinating. I saw her so many times. She was standing next to my bed. She told me what you said about me getting better. She told me so many things. I couldn't have hallucinated or imagined that stuff. I saw her standing right where you're standing right now. Not once, but so many times. You couldn't even open your eyes till yesterday, Anna. So how could you have possibly seen her? I stood staring at the window. Everything seemed empty as my apartment. Ready, Angel? My dad whispered. Yes, Dad. Anyone you want to see before leaving? She was all I had here, Dad, and she did say goodbye when she left. I have to make a quick phone call, though. Sure. Irene, it's me. Could you please drop that case we were preparing against Rana? Yeah, no, I won't be needing anything related to that case. Just destroy the files completely. I breathed out. Boy, was it difficult to honor her wishes against mine. The least and unfortunately the last thing I could do for her, my best friend forever.